I've just bloody flattened it down.
Well, that's what makes it look greasy then.
Oh.
When you squish it down.
Do you know why it wouldn't look greasy?
If you washed it more regularly.
No.
Yes.
If you let me wear the hat.
It would still look greasy just under a hat.
What was your speech about your trumpet?
Oh, I was just thinking, I love how this is now going to be my thing when I have literally never done it before in life, and I think I should buy some kind of golden vuvuzela and or a kazoo.
Why? You actually want a golden kazoo?
Kazoo, yeah.
Why?
To play?
What do you mean it's going to become your thing?
Every video, I'm going to do it.
Are you?
People might...
I thought it was just a one-off.
I mean, clearly it wasn't. People might put pictures of me on their t-shirts. Right.
Okay.
Great. Nice to see you.
You too.
Hello, gentle viewers. Welcome back to our humble abode. So, not so. I looked on my Tumblr and I wrote "so" at the beginning of a lot of my text posts.
It's because you say "so" at the beginning of every sentence.
Yeah,
nearly.
well, at least I'm consistent.
It's how you start any kind of conversation. So.
Sometimes I say, so I took this... Oh wait, that's...
Stop, that's a so!
Okay, here's the thing. Is that better?
Yeah.
Really?
I liked it.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, but you can't start like every paragraph with that.
You want to bet? Let's try. Okay, so here's the thing.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, but I still said okay first.
Yeah, but you said so.
Okay, comma, here's the thing. We did the introduction video, and now we're going to do a little video to give a rundown of what has happened so far. So, no. Okay, here's the thing.
Oh, you're so cute, man.
Doesn't help that my best friend's response to our original vlog was to send me a message and say, "Oh my god, you are so awkward." So thank you for that, Hayley, you little gem.
She knows you're awkward anyway.
Yeah, awkward but endearing.
There's
apparently.
a moth behind you.
Ah! What?
There's a moth. Don't fly!
We thought we'd do a little video with a rundown of like what's happened so far in the process, so that their like life and the vlogs are kind of up to date and in sync with one another, so that moving forward, when something happens, we can vlog it without having to like recap stuff that's happened previously.
Yeah.
Cast your minds back to a stormy day in October 2017. It was very stormy.
How do you remember that?
Because we live in England and it is always stormy.
True.
What happened?
Apart from right now. We went to the GP with the idea of hopefully getting referred to a fertility centre to start the process. We weren't sure really then in regards to any kind of funding for same-sex couples or anything like that.
Went in blind, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to kind of research online, but there isn't really much out there that tells you, and especially doesn't tell you for your area.
Oh yeah, so like I had this plan the other day when I was in the shower that despite the fact that my summer to-do list is very, very long right now, that I was going to email all of the CCGs in the UK to find out what their stance is on same-sex funding, and then put it in a little spreadsheet.
Why?
So that I could like put it online and people would be able to find out.
Oh, right, okay, that's a good idea. Cutie.
Prior to us going to the doctors in October, we'd gone back and forward on like when we were going to have kids and like when was going to be the right time. To be fair, we could probably do a whole video just on
Is it
the right time to have children? Never. So let's just do that. We'll do that. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, so that was just to set the scene. It wasn't just sort of like a let's do this, let's go to the doctors.
No,
so
it took a long
October
time to get to that
2017,
point.
we're a couple of years, maybe like a year, 18 months after we started discussing when we were going to have kids, back and forward, and then we just kind of thought, right,
there's never going to be a right time.
The way like the referral system works is there's like criteria that the GP goes through and like ticks if you meet this, but it's very heteronormative. Like, you know, it's very like, does the male have fertility problems? Does the female have fertility problems? In our case, you know, one or either of us could have fertility problems, but neither of us is going to know because we haven't been trying to have children naturally. So like a lot of it didn't really apply to us, and the GP kind of didn't seem to really know any more than we did, to be completely honest. Like, she was lovely, but it's obviously not something she's really dealt with a lot, is it? So, so she basically told us like she can refer us, and then it might be the case that we get there and that we weren't like able to get it on the NHS, which was something we kind of from the beginning were aware of. And then
she didn't really have any idea if like whether we would or wouldn't.
Yeah. So basically we went to this appointment hoping to get some answers, leaving without really any solid answers, slightly further forward than we were when we went in because the referral had been made. But this just seems to be a theme through the majority of
She also had no idea of like timescales or anything like that, so she had no idea like how quick the appointment would be from her referring us in October to then.
February. The end of February 2018, so what, 4 months ago? Yes. So we had our first appointment at the fertility centre. And
they basically took a huge history from both of us. Both of us have kind of pre-existing medical conditions, so it's kind of going into all that and what medications we take and all that information.
So that was a fertility consultant that we saw. So it was a doctor we saw at that point.
Yeah. So I've got a back condition and I'm on a bunch of pain meds, which you can't take while you're pregnant. So kind of that was discussed in that appointment as well.
Yes. But because like obviously this doctor's experience isn't sort of in rheumatology, it's not in, you know, muscle back problems. She kind of didn't know like whether or not a lot of your medications would be possible.
Yeah.
So that was something we actually came away and found out ourselves. Like we did some research into it. I made a colour-coded spreadsheet as per usual.
You're going to notice a theme here with the spreadsheets, trust me.
That they are wonderful. And so yeah, I mean it was pretty good, right?
The spreadsheet?
Yes.
It was just red. What medications can you stay on? 0.
I believe one of them said no evidence either way.
Yeah, so that was
Amber. So we got the news about the funding basically at that appointment to say that in our area there's no same-sex funding. How did you feel like you took that news?
I don't know. I think I wasn't really expecting it either way.
Yeah, kind of in the middle anyway.
Yeah, so I wasn't. I didn't have my hopes up that there would be same-sex funding. I think when it was at that appointment that we found out in order for a same-sex couple to get IVF on the NHS, they have to have 5 rounds of IUI to prove that they're infertile.
Like, I'm quite happy to do a video about, like, having a chat about the different methods and sort of how we came to the decision, because I think that's quite a big part of going through fertility treatment.
Yeah. Which
way
to do it
as a lesbian couple, like the sort of pros and cons to the different methods. So yeah, we'll come back to that. That was done. We had a history taken on that, yeah, like Bex said. And then sort of that was kind of the end of that appointment, and I think there's been like a theme of underwhelming feelings every single time we've come out of an appointment.
Yeah, it was more taking all the details, taking all the history, filling in loads of forms, telling us the information of different routes you can go down, and that was kind of it, I think, for that appointment. Yeah,
I think we came away from that appointment knowing that A, we were going to have to fund it ourselves, and B, that it was going to be quite a lengthy process.
Well, we didn't know how lengthy until now, but yeah, lengthy.
So March was our next appointment. By this point, we decided that we were going to try one round of reciprocal IVF. So that is going to be my eggs are going to be taken and used, and then Bex is going to, and then sort of like fertilised outside of the body and then used with Bex, like carrying the fetus. But again, we can go into that later on. so by this point we'd made that decision. So obviously because both of us were going to be going through treatment, like there was stuff that we both had to fill in. We basically both had to go through all of the checks, and the way they treat it is effectively like I'm an egg donor, so they only really have the sort of standard forms for like a person who's just donating eggs who doesn't really know you. So like a lot of the appointments have been basically filled with them giving us forms and then slightly editing them with like pen scribbles. And
for me, a same-sex couple is surely quite common in a fertility clinic.
Yeah.
A lesbian same-sex couple. And
I think, yeah, like...
Yeah, but that's surrogate, so it's maybe not as common.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I feel like there should be forms for this scenario. And I know it's stupid because it's just a form, but when they're having to constantly cross out husband and father from the forms and transport that with wife.
Yeah, and it's not just about it being stupid. Like it is literally a legally binding contract. If anything goes wrong,
and she's having to sign every time she was crossing out husband.
Yeah, that's the evidence that we've agreed to everything that's been discussed. So like they could really do with, like our situation is not uncommon.
No,
as in like the reciprocal IVF. Like we've seen like plenty of videos of people who are doing it in sort of message boards and stuff. So you know we're definitely not the first. We definitely won't be the last. So it's kind of like. Maybe they have a suggestion box and we can...
do you want to write it
something
down?
in it? I will submit a spreadsheet.
What's going to be on your spreadsheet?
I don't know. Reasons to change, reasons not to.
Okay, great.
Zero.
Zero
reasons.
Will it be colour-coded?
Yes, red and green.
Okay, great.
I had like scans done just to check like everything was as it should be. We had bloods done, so they do like all the infection screenings and things like that. So hopefully if you're going to go through this process you are a fan of needles, or maybe not a fan, but not a hater of them because there is a lot. And then kind of the big thing that came from that appointment was about the fact that despite us going privately now, because we don't qualify in the NHS, so we are paying for all of it, that we wouldn't be allowed to do the treatment unless Bex's BMI was 30.
Or less.
Or less, yeah. So at that point I think it was about 32, high end 31.
High end 32.
So like literally high end 32.
Yeah.
So like very, very close, but still too high. So we kind of left that appointment with the message of Bex needs to lose weight.
A lot.
Full stop. Once that happens, come back.
And again, you kind of, I feel like every time you come out of these appointments, you're kind of left hanging.
And with a new hurdle that you need to get over.
Not only a new hurdle, but like there's no like definite thing.
Yeah, there was never like a come back in 6 weeks or come back in.
It's
8
just
weeks.
like get in touch when
come back when you lost weight.
Yeah.
So obviously that would be different for everybody, but yeah, what we've both said is like we wish just from the start we'd been given like almost like a timeline of like, and I can appreciate like things like this don't always just go to plan and like there might be delays and stuff like that, but just like a kind of this is how long you can expect this part to take, this is how long you can expect this part to take, just to kind of give us an idea, because really like we literally are clueless, and I would say we're pretty well read around stuff like this.
Yeah, well, you kind of go to these appointments thinking, well, this is it, we're doing it, like we're in this.
I don't think
and I don't expect things to happen overnight. I'm not that naive, but I think when you go to your GP in October and we're now in July and nearly July, and we've still not really got even any kind of dates in for when we're actually going to do the cycle. I think you just don't realise how long it takes, especially when you're paying for it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the problem with us as well is like we kind of have a limited slot of availability where like because of the egg collection I need to take 3 days off, and that is just not really practical when I'm at uni. So the summer holidays from like July to August, well the end of August, are like kind of when we can do it, which is obviously completely on us. That's not the clinic's fault, like I fully appreciate that, but that's kind of why we want to start things as early as we did. So we were kind of hoping to be further on by this point, I think. I think the other thing that came from that appointment was just like about Bex getting in touch with like the people who manage her like back condition and finding out sort of like what the implications were for pregnancy, and she had to get referred to like an obstetrician as well to discuss just like the impact of the pregnancy on her back and her back on the pregnancy. So that brings us up to like the summer starting kind of still, it's so weird because you kind of like go about your normal life knowing that this thing is kind of running along in the background and waiting for appointments and waiting, you know, and a big part of it was like Bex having to lose the weight, which she's done, and like done amazingly. Like, I mean, what, that was 2 BMI points she's dropped. Oh, thanks. Give her a little sticker chart. I put her certificates for weight loss on the fridge, so that was nice.
They're gone now.
In a box to be treasured forever though.
Forever.
It's not like I shred them. So the latest appointment was the 20th of June, so a week ago today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Today, yeah. We went really to confirm that I've lost the weight that I needed to lose, and kind of get the ball rolling. And we wanted to know as well, like, where we were on, because the fertility centre themselves have their own sperm bank, which isn't very big.
None of them are. You will quickly realise this.
Yeah, there isn't really a great deal of choice.
So many men, no sperm. So many merm. So many mermaids. Give me the merm. The merm bank. The merm bank.
Oh. Yeah, there's not a great deal of choice, and we maybe are picky.
No merm.
No merm.
We're not picky.
We are
No,
picky.
we are not picky.
I keep finding ones that I really like.
Bex thinks I'm picky because I didn't like the last sperm donor because there was loads of typos in his application. I think
the clinic could
in an
check
application you would just have had somebody else check it.
The clinic could.
And
check
also it was very underwhelming. Like,
we went as well to see kind of where we were on that waiting list, and we've been on that waiting list since February.
December.
We didn't have an appointment
Since
with them.
December.
Oh, right, okay. Since December, we've been on that waiting list, and we were told we were nowhere near the top.
Yeah, it's going to take until next December.
So we had to, so it's at least a year to be on the waiting list to get any sperm from their bank, and bearing in mind they don't have much choice. So we knew we were going to have to source externally, so we looked at...
That sounds horrendous. So anyway... Delays on the sperm front.
Yeah,
you
so
never
now we're
thought,
looking at
as a
other
lesbian
sperm
couple,
banks.
we would be wishing for larger volumes of merm in our life.
You're just going to call it merm from now on.
Yeah, and then people don't know what I'm talking about. Be like,
Okay.
saw some nice merm last night. When I'm at
When
dinner.
did you say that? Now we're going with a sperm bank that has an agreement set up with our fertility centre.
But also does not have very much.
Doesn't have very much still. They literally send you 2 profiles at a time, which is kind of frustrating. You kind of want to see the whole catalogue to pick from.
Yeah, imagine going to Argos and like them just like literally having like a bit of card with like a slot cut out of it that you could look at like 2 toys at once.
But it's reserved for you,
Yeah.
and then they take them away and then give you another 2.
No toys for you.
So yeah, we're in the process of doing that, and once we decide on a donor, it takes 10 days to get shipped to the centre, so it's not too bad.
Then the other thing that came from that appointment was just that Bex obviously had her weight down, so kind of things could start. So, woo 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 woo, trial cycle.
Sounds like some kind of 90s rave song.
Right, you're never happy with the tunes I pick. Do you want to give me a selection on a
No,
list?
I'm just critiquing all of your tunes so far. Carry on.
There's no famous songs about trials.
I'm not saying there is.
Woo woo! Trial cycle.
Yeah.
But yes. If you subscribe, and we can keep you up to date.
Yeah.
And also comment if there's anything else that you want us to talk about. So yeah, I feel like I'm not very with it tonight because I had an exam today and I have an exam tomorrow.
She passed!
Yay! But instead I'm sat
Drinking wine.
drinking wine and talking about this, which is very enjoyable, but also not going to prepare me for my exam tomorrow, which is about children though, so it is relevant.
Yeah,
Kind
there
of.
you go. Yeah.
You can count this as revision.
I feel like this is a long video, so we're going to sign off. No, not yet. You know, shh.
Look at, she controls my trumpet.
So we will make more videos.
I have 2 hands.
We will make more videos on why we chose reciprocal IVF and what are the other options. our medical conditions.
I might just make that video and just link you to a website with all of the information.
No. Funding, like how much things are, how much we've had to pay, blah, blah, blah. Anything else that you can think of right now?
Sperm. Video about the merm.
So yes, please subscribe, keep up with our journey, and comment if you want to chat. And that's it. Would you like to do your trumpet?
I don't want to do it on command, I just want to do it. Are you getting your lips ready to trumpet?
No,
you can do it.
No,
You should
I
share
don't
the
want to
trumpeting
trumpet.
duties. Trumpet.
I don't want to trumpet.
Let me do it then.